Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Tuesday, December 13th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So, in today's video, we'll be taking a look back at yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate is only a 5-game main slate, which is a little bit bigger than your typical Tuesday where we typically see 3 or 4 games. So, it's a little bit of a nicer slate, especially on the DraftKings side, the FanDuel side. The pricing's a little bit steeper for a lot of players overall, but we'll get into some core picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings as well. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. So I'm just going to start off with saying yesterday was kind of a cluster yesterday. I felt really good about it in the morning. Got to when we were getting closer to lock, it seemed like everybody was getting ruled out. Trae Young, John Morant, Steven Adams, Clint Capella, a few other ones up there as well. So the slate was moving a little bit more than I would have liked it to, but kind of what we ended up here for that updated core. We had Tyus Jones at point guard on DraftKings at $5,100. Looking for 25, 26 points on. We got to 47.75, so he was a really good hit yesterday. At shooting guard, we went with Aaron Holiday at $3,300, looking for 16, 17 points on him. Obviously, no Trae Young yesterday. He was not in the starting lineup, which was a little interesting to me, but still got 36.25 points, so he was a hit as well. Then small forward, we had Denny Advia at $4,900. Looking for 24, 25 points on. We got to 18.75, so obviously he was a mess. Only ended up playing 27 minutes yesterday, 2 for 4 shooting from the field. And he did have 4 fouls, so it looks like maybe he got into foul trouble at some point yesterday. Didn't dig too deep into it overall, though. Just kind of an unfortunate day for him overall. Then at power forward, we had Kyle Anderson at $5,200, looking for 26 points out. Only got to 21.75, so he was a miss. He only played 28 minutes. This game was a blowout where they did lose to Portland by about 20 points, so it did affect his minutes a little bit there. If he gets up to that 32 minutes, probably has a better chance of paying off yesterday. And then last but not least, at the center position, we had Onyeka Okongwu, who was filling in for Clint Capella. Obviously, I had Capella in my core, but I said if he ended up missing, switched over to Okongwu. $3,700, looking for 18, 19 points on him, got to 25 on DraftKings, so he was a hit. So we had 3 out of 5 on DraftKings. The 3 hits were very good hits. So if you had some other decent plays alongside the core 5 that I did have here, you still had a pretty decent chance of cashing yesterday. And then on the FanDuel side, we had Aaron Holiday at point guard, $3,500, flat minimum, got to 39.6, so he was a really good hit. The 4 stills definitely helped him out on the FanDuel side quite a bit. Then at shooting guard, we had D'Angelo Russell, $7,200, looking for 36 points on. Got to 42.6, so he was a really good hit as well. At small forward, we had AJ Griffin, $4,500, looking for 22, 23 fantasy points on. Got to 19.1. He was a mess. He only ended up playing 25 minutes in this game, 5 for 12 shooting from the field, mainly scored the ball, and this game was a blowout. Unfortunately, with him being a younger player, you'd like to see him still play like 28, 30 minutes, even in those blowout games. Some teams will do it, but unfortunately, the Hawks did not end up doing that yesterday. And then at power forward, we had Denny Advia once again, $5,500, looking for 27, 28 points on. He had been doing that quite often. He's up over 30 minutes quite a bit. Unfortunately, only played the 27 minutes yesterday, as I mentioned on the DraftKings side. 2 for 4 shooting from the field. Might have gotten into a little bit of foul trouble as well, so only 16.9 points, so he was the miss. And then at center position, we had Onyeka Okongwu, who was $4,500. Looking for 22, 23 points on him, got 26.5, so he was a hit. So 3 out of 5 on the FanDuel side as well. If you had some other decent plays, you still had a pretty good chance of cashing yesterday as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to the injuries in play for tonight's slate. As I already mentioned, it is a 5-game slate, and it's oddly enough one that does start at 7 o'clock Eastern time on a Tuesday. So typically we see it about a half hour later start, but the first game that we do have tipping off is the Sacramento Kings without Alex Len, and De'Aaron Fox is listed as questionable. He's been dealing with a foot injury. He has missed the previous 2 games. Obviously, if he's unable to go, Davion Mitchell would start in his place once again and look pretty good overall. He's going to look a little bit better on FanDuel, and I would have some interest in Kevin Huerter once again as well as Domantas Sabonis. And then for the Philadelphia 76ers, we have Tyrese Maxey listed as out once again. Daniel House listed as a game time decision, but expected to play tonight. Then we move over to the Golden State Warriors, who are without Andre Iguodala and Andrew Wiggins. And then Draymond Green listed as a game time decision, but expected to play tonight. He has a little bit of ankle injury. I believe he rolled it the last time out, but should be good to go tonight. Then for the Milwaukee Bucks, Drew Holiday is listed as questionable tonight. He's dealing with an illness. We'll see if he plays or not. Obviously, if he does not end up playing tonight, Chris Middleton, Giannis are going to look a little bit better. Probably going to end up with Javon Carter in that starting lineup once again. And then we have Chris Middleton listed as a game time decision, but expected to play. He tweaked his ankle the last time out as well. And then for the Phoenix Suns, we have Devin Booker, Jay Crowder, and Dwayne Washington. All this is out. Cam Johnson is listed as a game time decision for whatever reason, but he's likely out once again. Sounds like he'll be out for quite some time still. And then for the Houston Rockets, Jayshawn Tate is out once again, so no real changes there. For the New Orleans Pelicans, we have Brandon Ingram and EJ Liddell out once again. Herb Jones is expected to make his return tonight as he's listed as a game time decision, but expected to play. Then the Utah Jazz are without Fonichetti and Colin Sexton once again, so no real changes there. Obviously, Mike Conley did sit out one of the games over the weekend, but that was a slate that I did not cover as well, so pretty similar to what we saw last time out. I guess Lauri Markkanen did get ruled out with an illness, but he is back today as well. Then we move over to the Boston Celtics, who are without Danilo Gallinari, Al Horford, and Robert Williams tonight. So likely we see Blake Griffin start at center once again tonight, unless they're resting him on the back-to-back for whatever reason. Then we could see like a Luke Cornett or a Grant Williams start at center. Could be interesting to see how they play this game out. Then for the Lakers side, they're without Wayne Gabriel and Juan Toscano Anderson once again. LeBron James and Anthony Davis both listed as game time decisions, but expected to play tonight. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. Obviously, the biggest ones tonight are going to be De'Aaron Fox and Drew Holiday. And then if anything else changes throughout the day, I'll list it down in the comments as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Chris Paul at $6,200. Looking for 31 points out. He's averaging 32 on the season. He has a very good matchup tonight against the Houston Rockets. Should be a pace-up spot overall. A poor defensive team as well. There's no Devin Booker tonight, so Chris Paul's going to look pretty good overall. Currently, I'm projected for 36 points. There is some upside for more there as well. Then in shooting guard, we're going with Malcolm Brogdon. This one's a little bit interesting. We got $4,800. Looking for 24 points out. He's averaging 26.5 on the season so far. Currently, I'm projected for 26 tonight. Whether or not he ends up in that starting lineup or is the lead guy off the bench, he'll look pretty good against the Lakers team that doesn't play a lot of defense overall. And just kind of a decent little value play at that shooting guard position, which was a little bit tougher position for me overall today. Then we're going to go down to small forward with Chris Middleton, only at $6,000. Been getting his minutes back up 30 to 32 minutes at this point in time. Hopefully that ankle injury is not a major concern for him. Maybe a little bit of pace-up spot against the Golden State Warriors tonight as well. If Drew Holiday doesn't play, he's going to look even better. But currently I'm projected for 31, 32 points tonight. Then at power forward, we're going with Jabari Smith. He's been playing bigger minutes and playing pretty well as of late. At $5,300, looking for 26, 27 points out of him. He's done that like 4 out of the past 5 games. And currently I'm projected for 28 points tonight, but definitely offers some upside for more as well. And then last but not least, we have DeAndre Ayton at $7,200. Looking for 36 fantasy points out. He's averaging just under that so far in the season. Goes against the Houston Rockets tonight. Should be a very favorable matchup for him. And there's no Devin Booker, so he should be a bigger part of this offense overall in terms of usage and shot value. And with that being said, currently having projected for 38 points tonight. Definitely has a good upside for more as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you'll have $20,500 remaining, just over $6,800 per player. So you could probably pay up for one player tonight if that's something you really, really want to do, and then kind of have to pay down for some other options. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely viable on tonight's slate as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So on the FanDuel side, as I mentioned before, the pricing is a lot tighter on FanDuel tonight. Still got Chris Paul at the point guard position. He's $7,200. You're looking for 36 points out of him. Everything I said on DraftKings still applies. There's no Devin Booker tonight. He's been playing bigger minutes as of late, closer to what he would normally do. Very good matchup against the Houston Rockets tonight. Currently having projected for 36, 37 fantasy points tonight. Then in shooting guard, we're going to go down to his teammate in Torrey Craig. Obviously, there is one extra piece missing tonight in Devin Booker, so Torrey Craig's minutes were a lot higher last time out. Played very well in that game. If he's up over 30 minutes tonight, he's going to look like a pretty good value play overall. $4,800, we're looking for 24 fantasy points out. He's averaging 19.5 on the season. Obviously, with the tick up in minutes, that should help him out overall. Currently, I'm projected for 26 fantasy points tonight. Then at small forward, we got Jaylen Brown at $8,900. Looking for 44, 45 fantasy points out. He's averaging about 42 so far on the season. Goes against a favorable matchup in the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. And as of late, he's been pretty good. Obviously, I believe the last game out was his worst game in quite some time. But at this price tag, do not have a problem going back to him today. Currently, I'm projected for about 44, 45 fantasy points tonight. Then at power forward, we have Jabari Smith once again. He's $5,800, so obviously we're looking for 29 fantasy points out, averaging just over 24.5 so far in the season. Kind of been an up and down season for him. But he's playing bigger minutes. As of late, he's been playing more efficient as well. So currently I'm projected for 28 points tonight. Definitely has some upside for more as well. At this price tag, he's paid off at that 3 out of the past 5 games, and another game was real close to that as well. And then last but not least, at the center position, we're going to go with Sengun at $6,300. Looking for 31, 32 points out of him. He's averaging about 31 so far in the season. I also have him projected for 31 fantasy points tonight. Be very interesting to see the matchup of him and DeAndre Ayton. I like both players quite a bit, but obviously DeAndre Ayton is a little bit more expensive on FanDuel. If you're playing in GPP format, you could definitely go to him once again though. But just keep in mind that his price tag is quite a bit more on the FanDuel side overall. But with that being said, if you go with the 5 players that do have listed, you have $27,000 exactly remaining. Just over $6,700 per player. It looks like a little bit more of a balanced build type of day, but if you want to pay up for one other star player, you can definitely do that and then kind of find some value to poke and plug from there. But probably a little bit more balanced day. We'll see if anything changes with the news throughout the day, though. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, December 13th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. Also, for your questions, try to specify whether they are for FanDuel or DraftKings, just so I can best help you as quickly as possible. And then, as always, I'll be listing the injury updates throughout the day, as well as many starting lineups as I can get to throughout the night. Should have my updated core out about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock, or as those updates do become available. Obviously, it just kind of depends on the day. Yesterday was a little bit later, just granted the news, since there wasn't too much with the first couple games overall. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. At this point in time, we have NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS content coming out. Definitely be sure to check that out, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, Patreon, or at WeBetATS.com for the NFL DFS cheat sheets. And then with that being said, if you're a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I do the daily NBA DFS Core Pick videos Monday through Friday. Hopefully getting some NFL content back up this week in terms of videos. Otherwise, be sure to check out the Patreon at patreon.com/CoachCraigSports. If you guys would like to try that out for a week for free, be sure to let me know and I can make that happen for you as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.